Well, hello there and thanks for tuning in. It's another video from a series of game recommendations, and in that series I would like to recommend games that may not be as well known as others, because it really wouldn't make sense to tell people about, I don't know, World of Warcraft or Elden Ring. It's like usually little indie games that may be very easy to get into but hard to get out of because they may either be very difficult or very addictive or both. And you know, might be like a roguelike little pixel style indie game or something. So this is the one for today, Backpack Hero. And the thing about Backpack Hero, if you're wondering what kind of game it is, if you've never heard of it, it did create some buzz last year and came out. But if you've never heard of it, it's an inventory management game. And now you're thinking, oh my god, that is the most exciting thing I've ever heard about. Well, I know it doesn't sound cool, but it is. I mean, inventory management is like very old school, and it's something I really dislike in most games. I hate like having to, you know, shuffle around tons of items in my backpack to make them fit, and I dislike that. That's one of the things I dislike in games like No Man's Sky, or I remember the most recent Deus Ex game had that. It's kind of, it feels outdated. But here, it's a game mechanic, so let us jump in. So here is the menu. We can set different options, like adjust the music volume, special effects, change the language, adjust the brightness, change the screen mode and the quality. And yeah, it's not like really high res or anything that wouldn't fit anyway. So regarding the gameplay, we've got some settings there, and there is more information, and you can delete your save games or reset the tutorials. So I am gonna do that actually right now and reset them. Yes. And we're gonna start a game. And you can switch different characters. Each one of them, they have a different playstyle. For example, Toad, banished by the Elder Frogs. Her backpack is blessed with a dreaming tree, magical carving spawn. Each turn, she is in danger. CR8, when you can't find a hero, you're gonna make one. CR8 is a mishmash of metal and nerd stuff that will take care of any enemy automatically, provided the circuitry is properly organized. You know, these all have slightly different game mechanics, and you can also switch to different like designs, like skins for them. Satchel is the son of a noble bird on the run from the evil Crow King, Corvus. This back ripped and town captured Satchel seeks the help of other heroes and to discover the mystery of the Spiral of Feathers. And we've got Pochette. Raised in a dungeon by a family of hermit crabs, she's more comfortable with her pets than with strangers, so apparently she's someone who summons. But let us start with Purse, which is like the classic character, like the basic character you start with. A peppy rat from a poor village in Oakshire Forest, she aims to storm the dungeon, rebuild her village and save her family. Let's pick a skin. I'm gonna go for this one, like the very roguish one. And now we're gonna go adventuring. And you can have different modes. You can go through a tutorial, you can go through a standard mode, classic Matthew, easy mode. For example, let me see. Start the game from Matthew, plus 15 to max health, minus 25% to enemy health. Maybe a good place to start. Classic Matthew, start the game from Matthew. Basic with no special settings. The tutorial mode. Learn to play as this character, highly recommended. And we're gonna do that, and I would also, after the tutorial, I don't remember if we can just keep going into a normal game or whether you have to go back to the main menu, but let's go through the manual, through the tutorial, and then we'll go and play a little. So, you must conquer the dungeon by delving deep to the center to discover the ancient cheeses hidden there. You are armed only with your magic backpack. Still, I know it doesn't sound very attractive or exciting, but let's see. I got really addicted to that game last year for a little while. You head into the dungeon knowing very few make it back alive. So you move along the map by clicking on these markers. right? So it moves automatically if you click on this. And that, what I just had, was a chest. And here's a skull, which means an enemy, and that's a door. So now here we've got the first 3 items, and you can see we've got 9 slots in our backpack, and we will actually release it, increase it. So let us start. We're gonna put a shield in here, and the shield will give us 7 block when we use it, and it takes like 1 energy, 1 energy to use. I'll show you that in a minute. Here's a sword. It does 7 damage, and it's got that icon up in the upper right corner, 1 as well. I can rotate by holding an item and pressing the red button, and this is food. Adds 2 energy. So the green currency is energy. Eating this takes no energy, which makes sense. It gives us 2 energy. And swinging the sword takes 1 energy, and using the buckler uses 1. Sounds complicated, or more complicated than it is. Let's show you. We're gonna go back to the map, and we're gonna go to the first enemy. In combat, you click items to use them. You must defeat all enemies to continue. Many items, including your sword and shield, require energy. Once you're out of energy, you should end your turn. Then the enemy will act. So, this is the enemy. He's currently has 32 HP. We have 40. He's apparently got, he will add 14 block to himself, which is added to his health. So if he's got 14 block, he actually has 46 hit points, his health plus the block. I've got 40. And what I will do, since he will not do any damage in the next turn, I will just keep hitting him. Hit it once, twice, 3 times. And what I'm gonna do, I don't know if it's like a really good idea, but I am gonna use the meal, so I've got 2 more energy. And I took him out. That was the first combat. I mean, if I wouldn't have used that food, I could have, ended my turn, and then he would have given himself some 14 block, and then I would have had to lower the block and also keep lowering his health. So I used the food to give me some extra energy and manage it. Now I can level up. I can pick 4 of these spaces and increase my backpack space. So let us do this. I think I'm gonna go with this. And now we're gonna get items. There are many items and much to discover. Sometimes it can be overwhelming even for a backpack giver. If you feel confused, bring up the context menu on an item and choose the option to view card. When viewing a card, you can hover over parts of the card and explanations will appear. Never get confused. So, there are the items we're gonna get now. So, for example, this is a spade cleaver. On use, it takes 1 energy to use. On use, it deals 4 damage. When a cleaver kills a non-summon enemy, which is, an enemy that was not summoned by another enemy, it gets 1 damage this combat. That's not too bad, and it takes only 1 slot. Then we have spoiled milk. It's a potion, a consumable, takes 0 energy to use, has 2 uses. It adds 18 block to yourself, but also adds 2 poison, which is not really cool. This is pretty cool. It's a potion, takes 0 energy to use, can be used once, and it deals 12 damage to all enemies. That's good. Now this is a sapphire. This item floats, which means if you put it in your backpack, it will immediately go to the top slot. So if I would, for example, see, I put it in the lower slot, it goes up. And the good thing about it is, adjacent weapons get 1 damage. So this now has 8 damage. This is a wizard staff. I have not used wizard staff a lot. And it's a projectile weapon, it's conductive, and it deals 11 damage to all enemies. But it also takes mana. You see, it takes 1 energy, 1 mana, which is the blue circle. So we're not going to take that. I'm going to go and get my cleaver again. I'm going to get this potion. It adds 25 blocks, but I can only use it once. And this does damage to all the enemies. And I forgot I can't take more items because you can only take a certain amount. So let me reconsider. It's a small key to open chest. I'm gonna take the AoE thing. Okay. So now we're finished choosing. We bought the fight. We leveled up and increased our space. We also got some loot, buffed our weapon, and now it's time to leave. Part 1 of 3 of... This is a typical level, and there's stuff to explore. So let's, for example, something to collect. It's 5 gold, right? Here's a vision of danger. And this, I figured out, hints at which boss you're gonna get, because it's at the end of that zone, the crypt, there's gonna be a boss, and it's like picked from a certain amount of different bosses you can get, and this will tell you which one you get. So you get the B, and I don't think I ever fought that, not sure. So, an unknown event. I smell treasure nearby. As his eyes turn to you jumps, you snuck up on me. I'm a scavenger, I find things down here. Invest in my search. I can look for an item type, and that's gonna take 5 gold. So let him... I'm not gonna do that though. I'm not gonna let him search for stuff. I'm just gonna leave, because I want to hold on to my money. Here's a chest. Let's open it. And I got a fight. So now you can see, once it's the turn of this crab, hermit crab mimic, I will get 7 experience for killing it. And it's a nice little Dark Souls hint, or like a Dungeons and Dragon hint, right? Because the chest turned into a crab, so it was a mimic. It will attack me on the next turn for 6 damage. He's got 32 XP, so I can actually do one or two things. I can take him out by hitting him 3 times with the sword, then consuming my food, and then hitting him again. But maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I want to show you how to be a bit more defensive. So let's hit him once, twice, and use my shield. Now I have 7 block, and when he hits me for 6, he will not even get through my block. And with your health, you can get some health healed in the dungeons, but it's not a very common thing. So we want to avoid losing too much of our health. And my turn, it's his turn. He hit me for 6. You can see the enemy's intentions over their heads. By selecting it, you can learn even more. An enemy's plan to attack, you can use your shield to get block. I just did that. So now he wants to give himself 6 block. But we're gonna prevent that because he's got 16 HP. And we took him out by hitting him twice. Now we can get items. And this looks pretty good. Got a ring, which adds max 5 HP. We've got some armor. Adjacent and diagonal armor gets 1 block. And each turn it adds 5 block, which is pretty good. And this will add 2 block, and that's 4 block per turn. Let's see. Problem here is I can't really fit that as well. Let us see. Because here's where the inventory management starts. Now I'm going to take the other one. And we could take this. This item floats for each adjacent structure. We'll get to that later, hopefully. This is a potion I can throw, add 3 poison to enemy, multiplies poison to enemy by 100%. We could take this ring, which gives us more HP. We can take this, which will give us 1 energy, but it will block a spot in our backpack for a while. Liquid armor. So I think I'm gonna go for the AoE one. So we're gonna leave the food behind. We lose all this. I could take more items, but I don't have more slots. So yeah, let us move on. Let us go to the next cupboard. Okay, 2 enemies. One is gonna hit me for 6. And the other one is gonna give himself 16 block. So we wanna do some damage. And I'm gonna use my shield. Ah, that was kind of silly. to use my shield because I took out the enemy that was going to hit me. So let's end the turn. Now he's going to hit me for 8. I've got 4 block from my armor, as you can see. So I'm going to use my shield. Hit him twice. That took care of his... Yeah, he's going to buff himself again. So let's wail on him. And now he's got 9 plus 16. So the problem here now is that I can't take him out on this turn, but it's gonna be okay. He's done. Nice. So we can level up again. We can pick 4 spaces again. And now we get items. And for example, let's see. It's the same armor, same stats. A toxic kunai, and that's used after you that's destroyed when I use it. It deals 3 damage to all enemies and adds 6 poison to all damage. That's pretty good. We also have these gloves. This item is heavy, which is the opposite of floating. It will sink to the bottom whenever I put it. Each space to the left plus 1 block. Each turn at 0 block. It's rare. Yeah. That's 5 block. Okay, what else do we have? Adds 2 dodge to yourself. Adds 8 regenerate to myself. That's nice. And deals another... Oh, we can't take more. Too bad. Yeah, that's a cleansing potion. Removes all status effects. Okay, so let's go for this one. And this is a roguelike, right? So, you know, you should get used to eventually failing at some point. But it's gonna be okay. Enemies here, the Red King, and normal enemies, a bearded dragon. Or I could move on. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go for this. So, he's gonna do 4 damage and will create a curse. I'll show you the curse in a minute. He will add 4 burn. I've got 9 armor already. So I am gonna... This is pretty strong, but let's use it anyway. Nice! That was the first one. So let him add 4 burn, I'm okay. A curse will either... You can... When you get a curse, you can pick. Will you either take some damage, or will you put it in your backpack and block spots in your backpack, which is not a good idea. So it's always a tough decision. So we can take him out. And we'll be able to get a helmet. This item is disabled. If this is not in the top row, this item is disabled. Adjacent armor gets +1 block. So let's do this. Oh, that's gonna be a bit trickier. So you see now, this lost a block. But what if we put that in here? We have the helmet, adds 4 block, base 2, knight's armor +2. Adjacent diagonal shields and armor get +2 block. I can't put this, I don't want to put this here because, oh well, I could. It's not too bad what I'm losing there. Okay. This is a dice used to roll your combat rewards. I could take this with me. This will heal me. This will add spikes to myself, which is cool. And I can take spikes, of course, you know, when enemies hit me, they will take damage as well. Let's take this. Okay, I'm done. And now that Red King is gonna come for me. He's following me, he's moving. So let's go ahead and fight it. I don't quite remember this fight. Okay, I'm sure he will... I mean, he's got 20 HP. I should be able to just take him out, right? Ah, okay. So now I have to decide, what do I want to focus on? Yeah, I should have figured it wouldn't be that easy, right? Played this game a lot last year. Gonna first give myself some block. No, I should focus on the little one. Played this game a lot last year and I don't remember this fight for some reason. Or maybe I do and I kind of try to forget about it. So yeah, I took out the add and he's gonna do 10 damage, but I've got 12 block. So let's end our turn. Okay, one. Oh, he's getting smaller. Okay, so every time he spawns a companion, he's getting smaller. And I guess I have to kill him like 3 times and kill his minions as well. This guy can't do anything to me because he's only gonna do 7 damage and I've got 5 left. You can see that right now things are looking pretty good because that block rating I get, 12 block, is pretty strong. And I killed him. So now I can level up, I can pick 3 spaces this time. I'm done. I'm gonna get some items. This is a shuriken, adds 3 burn to enemy and deals 3 damage and is destroyed on use. We also have this. A ring, when combat ends, add luck, which I think will give me more or better loot. Poison potion, adds 6 damage to all enemies. This is a consumable, adds 8 haste to myself and adds 2 weak to myself, which has, you know, it's a drawback as well. As I said, I didn't use the magics yet, because I focused on this character in melee. With magic you have to also keep track of your mana. So let me take the shuriken as well. And that's it. Can't take more items. And let us move on. And, you know, it took me like about 5 minutes until I was hooked by the game. I really like the idea, the basic principle. So what's this? Trade food for a cleaver. If you have something to eat, I might as well give you my cleaver. I don't have food, so I can't do that. Sure you won't change your mind? I mean, let's try, but I don't have food. Oh, I do, actually. Is this considered food? Let's try. Looks good to me. Well, I just gave him poison. I hope he's not trying to drink that stuff. Use it well. So this is my new cleaver. Deals 7 damage. The above cleaver is used. Takes 2 to use. Which is... I don't think that's really such an awesome weapon. Okay, so this thing is gonna add a curse, which I said before, when you get a curse you can either pick to take some damage or to block some space in your backpack for the rest of the game, which you don't want to do. So let's try to take out the bee. Let's block. Let's end the turn. Now he's gonna do 6 damage to me, he's gonna give himself 12 block. So I'll just go all out. Now he's going to do 13. I cannot take him out this turn, so I'm gonna... do I want to do this? No, I think I want to save that up. Okay, this time he's going to do 7 damage, and he's going to give himself... He's not going to give himself anything, because I killed him. Okay. I mean, the damage on this is okay. Whetstone. It's on use. Weapons in this row. I can use it. It's gonna take 1 energy, but I can't put it in the top corner. No, can't, because I have that and that. The helmet and the sapphire, which need to be in the top corner. So I can't really use that. At 6 block. That's 9 block. It's smaller, which would be nice, but you know, it adds less blocking, so I'm not sure. It's always like a consideration, risk and reward and stuff like that. So one of these, let me just take the poison potion. Okay, so let's move on a little more. I could get healed here, but I don't wanna. What is this again? Oh yeah, it's a vendor, right? Mechanized toy can be used 1 time each combat. Adds +2 rage for each space the destroyed enemy occupied. Adds 1 rage. I never used this before. And I won't be able to use it now because it's really big. What about this armor? It's 5 block. That's 1 slow. I don't want that. What's this? Adjacent weapons get 1 damage. Each turn is 2 block. I think I'm fine for now with this. It's a wand. It has the same stats. Yes. Token of energy. When adjacent or diagonal item is present, get -1 energy. I'm not going to take anything right now. But let's do some more combat. Okay, this first guy is going to try to curse me. And just for the sake of showing you what that looks like, I'll show you what a curse looks like. Some enemies create curses. You'll need to find a space for these in your backpack. They can be placed over items and you can rearrange them later, but you can't just throw them out. In combat, you can use the curse to remove it. You can also choose to skip curses by taking damage, but the more you skip, the more dangerous they become. So if I skip this curse, the next curse will take more damage. I don't know that you can place them over other items, but then I guess I can use them. And I can use the curse to remove it. Well, let's try that then. See, I would have taken 3 damage if I had used that. Finish organizing. Okay, this is gonna be a lot of damage, so let me use the curse. Adjacent weapon get 3 damage. Cool. I used it, and it didn't really do anything. So I took out that enemy. I'm out of energy. He's gonna hit me for 12. I've got 21 block, that's fine. He's gonna hit me for 3. The above cleaver is used. This is just, you know, I've had another cleaver made up would make sense, but I don't. Okay, so that's what that does. Yeah. It's gonna do 12 damage. I'm fine with that. And yeah, level up. Another couple of slots we can get. 3 spaces. Done. Get items. This is nice. Takes 1 energy to use at 3 weak. So the enemies hit less hard when I use that on them. This adds 8 block. If I would equip this, but this is... Can I fit that in there? I can. So this now adds 10 block, which is really nice. So let me put that in here. Adjacent weapons, so I can do this. See, now I've got 2 weapons, both weapons adjacent to the sapphire, and now this block just does more. So when I use it, I will deal 10 damage and will also add 3 weak, so they hit me less hard. Deals 4 damage for each adjacent item. Ooh, that's pretty nice. For on kill, get 1 gold. So let me see if I can fit that in here. Oh, much better. It's a legendary item. So now with all the items adjacent, let me see if I can add anything else. 9 damage. Let me see if I can add this. 10 damage. Nice. So you see how all this stuff goes up. Okay, I'm gonna use the... I can't anything else. So let's move on. More combat to be done. So what is this? Chest. We could add 4 regenerate. Dart deals 10 damage to all enemies and gets destroyed. Yeah, it would be better if I could put the glove there, but I won't. Yeah, okay. So this has 5 block. And what if I put it here? It's got 3 block, okay. So, more combat then, right? Ooh, 3 of these guys. And let's see. Maybe focus on this one. So hit him with that. Nice. Should I? No. No. Gonna do that as well. And we can also do this. And now you see I hit him with that. I did 10 damage, and instead of doing 6 to me, he will do only 3 because I added weak. Wow, I can keep using this. Why can I keep using this? This is kind of... Oh, I misunderstood the tooltip because it cost me 1 gold to swing this. That's awesome. I never saw this item. It's really cool. I could, even though my enemy was used up, I could keep swinging an axe, but each swing would take 1 gold piece, and that's not a big problem. What be this? Oh. Slime sword. Deals 6 damage. Another slime on each combat. Another slime sword will be created at the end of combat, which is kind of not something I would want because I don't have that much room. So take another one of these, and we can use this as well. And it's chosen. So here's another enemy. Red King and a Red Wolf. Something to collect here. And the forge. Many items can be upgraded at the forge. The forge costs money, but you can use it multiple times. Each forge has different upgrades, so be sure to check. I am a crafter. Add 3 damage to a weapon. Add 1 poison to a weapon. Nice. So this, when I hit something with that, it will deal 10 damage. It will add 3 weak and 1 poison to the enemy, which is cool. So let's do the same thing. Should we add 3 damage or 1 poison? Let's do damage. Okay. Nice. Maybe I should even be able to take on those 2 tougher enemies. But let's move on a little bit. I'm gonna end this video soon. Just want to give you a quick impression, but maybe you can already tell that this is pretty fun. Okay, so here's the boss, I guess. So let's start by doing this. By using this, just for the heck of it. It's gonna take 2. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna spam this and lose money for each turn, but that was it. And now you may think, wow, that was very underwhelming. It was because I was lucky enough to have that specific item, to have the weapon which would let me hit and keep swinging for 1 gold a swing. I have never seen that weapon, and usually I wouldn't have been able to do what I just did. I just was lucky enough to have that specific item. If it would have been a weapon where I couldn't keep swinging, I would have had to go through different turns. What is this? Each turn adds 1 energy. I wonder whether this is actually better. So let me do this. I'm gonna remove this. Relic. To -2 energy to the cost of reorganizing in combat. We haven't done that much yet. So yeah. And I can't take any more items. So, what's in here? She would heal me, but I don't need healing. It's a chest. And now I could use that thing where I press this, and then it would use the cleaver, this cleaver, if it was above it. But I'm not going to do that. It's a cauldron, can be used 1 time each combat. This item is heavy, creates a potion in this row. But I've got a ton of space, I don't have a lot of space. So yeah, and now I could, from here, I could go to either place, So let us go here and see what awaits us there, but then I'm gonna stop. So this is the next area, the swamp. Got a combat right in front of us. It's gonna be a sage toad and a salamander. And I can guarantee you it will be a bit more difficult, because the further you get in, the harder the enemies hit, the more HP they have. So what we just did was like the easiest zone. So I saved the game. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm already, thinking maybe I keep playing this after the recording has stopped. Because just like last year, it dragged me in. And I'm enjoying this. So give this a try. It's a really, really cool game. A lot of fun, a lot of stuff to explore. And if you hadn't heard about it, maybe this will get you interested. So check it out on Steam. And thank you for watching.